Welcome back to the YouTube. Um, I like doing these kind of long form videos because it's not planned or anything, and I can kind of get across exactly what's going on for what you can expect if you're trying to do something that I've done. Like obviously you can know the science behind it, but unless you've done it, you can't really understand what's going on. So this is more about the kind of harsh reality of dieting and what to expect once you reach your kind of end goal, so to speak. So the end goal for me was to get as lean as I've ever been, um, and then doing a photo shoot at the end of it. So I never had a weight goal to hit, but I knew that I needed to be a lower weight than it was the last time that I prepped, obviously to be that bit leaner. Within the last 10 weeks of the prep, I went from 77 point something down to 71.2 kilos. And that was the leanest I had ever been. Maybe not since I was a teenager, but it was as lean as I got as an adult. So, what can be expected then? As soon as I finished the prep, my goal was either to compete in September, which would have been 3 months after that, or go straight into a gaining phase. It wasn't to maintain where I was. So if I was trying to maintain that, it would have been very, very difficult because once I finished that, I needed to do a reverse diet to come out of it. And what that is basically you reintroduce calories slowly over time to let your body adjust to those calories. And you're basically trying not to balloon out because immediately, as soon as you finish a diet, all you want to do is just eat all around you, which is what I did do. Like, it's if I was wanted to maintain what I had, I probably would have done it a little bit differently. But I basically just gave in to the cravings and the hunger because when you're dieting, you're getting hungrier and hungrier because you're not taking in enough food, and your hunger hormone ghrelin is going through the roof. So it's slowly building and building, so you get hungrier and hungrier over time. And as soon as you finish that diet, ghrelin is up really, really high, and then next of all, you're allowed to eat, and you're eating and eating and eating and eating, and you're still hungry all the time. So that will start to decrease over time. And the idea with the reverse diet is you basically eat, you know, a moderate amount of calories, not a huge amount, and you try and stop yourself from overeating to allow ghrelin to come back down to normal. And I can definitely say it does come back down. Now, looking back, if I wanted to maintain it, I would have tried to stick at my calorie goal, which was 2,500 calories. I went down as low as 1,650. So it was nearly an extra 1,000 calories I was eating a day. However, it just was not enough. I was starving the whole time, and I did give into it for the first 3 weeks. And I was definitely consuming a minimum of 4,000 calories every single day. And then on other days, like the day after the photo shoot, I definitely had 10,000 calories in that day. And then it started to have an effect 3 weeks later. And I'll show you the pictures. Like, my gut had like ballooned out, my shoulders had shrunk in size. I wasn't even training to the same intensity or anything since then. But that's the thing, it's the perfect analogy. I went from 71.2 kilos up to 76.8. I nearly gained a kilo a week, but it's not all fat. There's water, there's glycogen, there's so much more with body weight. It's not just body fat. God knows how much body fat I did actually gain, but you can clearly see, like, from the physique shots, that I have gained a considerable amount of fat, but I'm still kind of holding on to that shape. And my goal now is to grow. That's my only goal. I'm not here to get super sloppy, but if I have to put on body fat in order to put on muscle, that's what has to be done, because that's my goal at the moment. However, it was 3 or 4 weeks into the reverse diet, I looked at myself and I said, I need to kind of get a grip on this. And I did. my calories were higher again. I was at 3,200 calories, and I was eating that amount of calories, but I was like filling it up with like brownies, sugar, fat, stuff that weren't very good. And then I swapped it out for, I was having chicken breasts, I was having rice, I was having um, lean cuts of bacon, and I was hitting my macros. And the difference with that is mad. Like I might have been averaging the same amount of calories, but because I swapped out the food sources, I that was more like fuel. The new food that I'm having now, it's fuel. Whereas when it's made up of sugar and low quality food, it's not the same at all for your body. So I felt sluggish. I actually felt sore. Um, I was gaining strength in the gym, but as soon as I swapped over, I have been hitting all-time PBs, which is great. So that's my goal now, is just to keep climbing up in obviously scales weight. It's not super important. It's more pictures, and then my performance in the gym, that should keep climbing up then from there. But that's the reality of a diet. Is the harder you it's like a ball. If you slam the ball into the ground, it's going to bounce back up straight up with the same ferocity as you've thrown it in. And you can see that with my weight, the graph went down and back up with the same speed. So it's, if you can have a controlled diet down into the physique that you're looking for, and it needs to be where you can maintain it. If you can't maintain that physique and you're having to basically eat just rabbit food all the time, just cucumbers to fill you up, it's not going to stay sustainable. However, if you then go into a gaining phase and try and build as much muscle as you can, the next time you diet down, it will be a little bit easier because you have that amount of muscle there, and you will actually find it easier to keep body fat off with more muscle. So that's the goal, really. I've never done a proper long gaining phase, so this is uncharted territory for me. But it's going well, and I'm enjoying it so far. So that's the photo shoot, and everything's wrapped up. A couple of weeks ago, we got the pictures back, and I was definitely happy with them, and we know where to improve and stuff like that. But we'll definitely look at doing something else, and that decision is going to be made soon enough. And I know with certain goals that I have right now, it's not short-term goals. Like even with the YouTube, I've started this now a couple of weeks ago, and I'm just consistently posting. I'm aiming for one video a week up for a full year, and that's my goal. And I know in a year's time, I'll be looking back on, we'll be looking back kind of going, how on earth did you do that? And it's like, because I planted a seed a year ago and I stuck with it. And that's the best way to make change in your life, is to plant a seed now and then let it grow, but you have to just stay consistent with it. And I'm not doing anything mad. It's literally like just one video a week, and I'm basically sticking to a training program. I'm sticking to a food program that changes up and down, but I'll just do that every day for the next 300 days, 350 days, and I'll just see what the outcome is at the end of it, and if it was worth doing or not. But the end goal, like, I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I actually enjoy filming. It's a bit of a pain, the whole editing, but I'm getting better at it. And I'm doing all this by myself. I don't have a videographer. I don't have an editor, nothing like that. And yeah, I just said I'd give it a bash for a year and see what happens. But anyway, I will put in clips from my training session. It's an accessory workout, so you can enjoy that, and I'm hitting personal bests in that as well. And that's what I'll do then from now on, is kind of give you more educational content rather than this is what I'm doing. And hopefully people will get something out of this that are going through a similar journey as well. But it's good to see on the other side of it what it's like to go through what I'm going through. But yeah, enjoy the workout, and if you want to stay up to date with the videos, there will be one a week. I'm aiming for every Monday, but that can change then as well. And you'll see me grow and grow and grow over the next couple of months, and you'll see the benefit of what it's like to plant a seed and stick with it. And in a couple of months' time, I'm sure someone will be watching me and go, how did he get there in such a short amount of time, even though it was probably like a couple of months? So, and that'll hopefully change your mindset as to, I'm going to start right now. It doesn't matter what it is, just start right now and plant that seed and stick with it over a couple of months, and watch as you change and grow then from there. Right, so this session is accessory. So I'm training 5 days a week, and on the 4 days, it's kind of like push, pull, legs, and then it kind of, today is everything else that's not covered or that might need to be hit a little bit more. So just have dumbbell, bench press, a lot of shoulders. I was doing rack pulls at the start of this session as well, but the problem was I was doing deadlifts, RDLs, and rack pulls. So that's deadlifting 3 days a week, and it's actually just too much. I just can't recover from it. Now, when you're training hard, 4 days is more than enough to train a week, but now I'm training 5 days a week, but on this day, it's not like massively taxing. I have 2 days where it's not really taxing too much. So it's like spread out over the whole week. And I do find that I actually do need to fucking rest big time. But starting off, I have my warm up done. If you want to see that warm up, you can click the link. I'll leave it up here somewhere or down in the description. Or you could go onto my channel. It's the first ever video that I done. The warm up is in that, and I do that every single session, to get loosey goosey and ready to go. So what I'll do now is I'll just start lightweight and then build up, and then I'm looking to go for. I'm going to try go up to 36 kilos today. That'll be a PB. Last week I got a PB of 35 kilos. Now 36. Issue is it starts at, I have to go from 32.5 straight up to 36, but it should be fine. So starting lightweight first. So if I'm aiming to get up to 36, I'm just going to start at 20s, and I'll probably do about 8 reps here. Just getting blood into the muscle and warming up with the actual exercise. Doing actual weight is the best way to actually warm up for each specific exercise. But this is the first one in this session, so I have to make sure I take a bit of time on it. And what I'm thinking about doing is keeping my elbows slightly tucked in. So they're not like right up here. They're slightly tucked in at a 45-degree angle. And then keep my wrists above my elbows as much as I can. Press it straight up. And then I'm focusing on pressing my elbows across the chest then as well. So that's going to fully contract the pec then as well. Fuck. Oh, fuck. Going for 32.5s now. This used to be my working sets, but it felt a bit easy the last time. But today, it's definitely feeling a lot heavier, and I think part of that is to do with fucking doing the deadlifts beforehand. You're lifting like upwards of 100 kilos, so then when you come down to this, it just feels like you're lifting really lightweight. But fuck it. Oh fuck. Right. Hey. Yeah, definitely not feeling 36 today. Last week it was Saturday. Last week, today's Tuesday. I done the rack pulls first, and then went on to the dumbbells afterwards, and I got 35 kilos for 8, and it was actually handy enough. I was thinking of even going heavier, but now today, like, they felt a lot heavier, you know. So, and I reckon it's to do with not being fully recovered, because I went out diving on Sunday. I got absolutely fucked around, and like yesterday I rested as well, and I was banjoed. And I'd say hay fever as well has something to do with it as well. So you can't come in every single session, because like if I went for 36, I'd probably just fucking injure myself, to be honest with you, you know. So you just have to take it on the chin sometimes, because I wasn't even expecting to get 35 kilos there last week, you know. But you know, different. That was in the gym that I go to locally, so dumbbells, different equipment and shit sometimes can have an effect, even though dumbbells should just be dumbbells, but you never know. I've been looking at these fucking 36s and they're nearly taunting me. I done 35 for 10 last week and I could barely get 8 with 32.5, but I'm just going to fucking go for it and hope for the best, because it's literally just 36, then there's 38s, and then there's 40s, and then I've literally just completed this fucking rack now, and that's my goal. And you need these little goals for every little exercise you do to push you. So, you know, if I get injured, I get injured. Fuck it. You have to go for it. And don't be afraid, even when you're in a public gym, to try these weights, because people fail them all the time. But it's the only way you get better, you know? And it's not ego lifting, because I'm doing it with good form. You know, if I get these, I'll be fucking over the moon. But it's fucking good. God damn it! Oh, yes. That's the hard part done. Ooh. Really. Five. X. 7. Okay, let's go. 8. Oh, yeah, I'll take that. Oh, I'll take that. Fuck me. Woo! See, I knew I had it in me. Fuck. And you'll see that this side is the weak side, so if you have someone there spotting you, just get you up into that position there, because that first rep so hard, you know, and that's always what's been letting me down. But it's to do with stability. So I've been putting it off for ages, but I need to go to physio to get that sorted. And you can even see when I'm front on that this shoulder's a little bit like less muscle mass there, or it's just pulled back a little bit. So it needs to be sorted out. But like, that's what's annoying, is I have the strength there to actually do more weight, but the shoulder's going to dictate if you're going to do it or not. But I definitely felt like I got a lot out of that there. Like, but I've had something you could look at doing is, if your shoulders, if you've got like an unstable shoulder and you struggle to get the dumbbells into position, doing a barbell bench press is by far the best thing you can do, because you're taking it out, it's already in position up where you want to get it down to the chest and up, so you don't have to worry about taking the weight back. So I've been doing that now, and going heavy on the bench allows me then to go heavy on the dumbbells then as well. And it's more that I know I can do the weight, because I'm doing it on a barbell on the bench press. So the only thing is just getting the dumbbells into position then for the dumbbell bench press then. But ultimately the dumbbells are probably a little bit better for getting a stretch down the bottom. You can have your hands in whichever position is natural to you then as well. So it's good to have both rather than just one. But I think barbell bench press gets overlooked big time by the bodybuilding community, even though it's probably one of the best chest exercises you can do. Like, you can see all the big bench pressers, they have stupidly big chests. So and that's what I'm looking to grow. This whole program is designed in this way because I have to grow certain areas, because I want to compete in classic physique one day, and in order to do that, you have to have stupidly big chest, big arms, big lats. Shoulders, not so much. So this is the only day I'm hitting shoulders. Chest, I'm hitting it like 2 or 3 times a week, and progressively getting heavier and heavier on it as well, to build a classic physique. And I think you have to have a some sort of genetics there to actually go ahead and do it though as well. But it doesn't, like someone else who could have the complete opposite genetics, if they start training in this specific way, then you never know, they might actually have classic physique at the end of it. I'll try these again one more time. Oh, come here, you cunt. Oh, yeah. Hey. Oh, God. Right, so next is straight bar lat pull down. A lot of people kind of look over this because it doesn't exactly train your lats. So when you are trying to train just your lat, it actually is a lot better to have like your arm out in front of you, and then the lat is down here. It connects up there, and keeping the elbow in close, you'll actually get a much better connection with your lat. So when you do bring your elbow out, it kind of takes the lat out of it. So you can do one or two things. You can focus on actually keeping the elbows up high and kind of doing like an upper back row. Or what you can do is think about your arms are here and you're trying to actually pull your elbows into the side. So you're actually doing that. And that is going to get like right up here. And that I think it's the way this should be done. So you're pulling the elbows in at the side rather than flaring them out wide, up and high, which is just kind of getting your rear delts. So what you want to try and do is actually think about pulling the elbow in at the side there rather than out in front. And this one going for 12 to 14, so it's kind of high reps. And it's a vertical pull, and I'm thinking about pulling the elbows in at the sides. And we haven't covered this before in the program, so it's thrown in on today. That's why it's good to have a day where you can cover the exercises that you didn't get done in the other sessions. But I can feel that a lot in my lats there now, so it is hitting the right area. Right, so first working set, looking for 3 sets of 12 to 14 on this. Oh, feel that right up in there, which is the lat, where it inserts up in there, so that's good. Whereas when I'm doing something close in like this, I can definitely feel that down a little bit lower because the lat probably covers the biggest area of any muscle. So you have to have those different variations, just like any other muscle, to try and target specific parts. But if you just focus on growing, you will grow the whole muscle. But this will definitely add a little bit more onto certain areas. So now that the rack pulls, I'm probably just going to alternate between rack pulls and deadlifts on the pull day. So each week it'll be deadlifts, then rack pulls, deadlifts, rack pulls. I'll see. But I might throw in something else that's not a hinge. So it might be something like an upper back row, at the start of the session then, because I only put this day in as like trying to bring up other certain parts, and it turned out to be like the heaviest, longest one. Um, but like with that, like I've really thought about this program and what is needed with it, and my coach done one up as well. Oh, Paul! Yeah, I really thought about this program, like what's needed, um, and looking at certain areas that I need to bring up. But you can't look past like you just need big lats, you need big arms. You might have big lats or big arms already, but you need to keep training them either way. Like even on another day, now because I'm doing the program, I understand. Okay, like hinging 3 days out a week is not happening. It doesn't need to happen though either. And one leg session a week is not enough. There's going to be legs added on to another day. So like this program now, like I got my coach, he done one as well, and it was pretty similar. But I know exactly what's needed now for like the perfect program for me. And in saying that, it covers fucking everything though as well. So once I have this done, I might like bring out a program later on, this year or next year. That's going to be like the classic physique program then as well. But it's all trial and error. I couldn't just like whack out a program if I hadn't done it before. I know exactly what needs to go into it though as well. So you can kind of see the way my back is shaped, that like I'm that little bit further forward. Um, so that's why I tend to like push the bum forward then, so I can actually get into a good position. Like instead of me sitting here, then it's just too far forward for me. Then, like I could put it down one more, but it's that bit too far down. Then so I'm not exactly getting it where I want to. So it's not ideal to have that your back is there away from the bench. Realistically, it would be great if you could have it flat against there and then it's fully supported. You're not going like from here and then it's straight into the bench then, which can cause some issues then. It's pretty cool that I am shoulder pressing the weight that I was doing for like chest press like a good while ago, but nonetheless it's kind of like you have to look about how far you've come. But I think I'm at that turning point now of being like, okay, yeah, I am actually lifting heavy. Like once I'm getting close to the 40 kilo dumbbells for chest press and 30 kilos above head then as well for the dumbbells, like I'm happy with that. Like, um, but it's always good to look back at how far you've come. But there's no way I'd be getting PBs if I wasn't still in a fucking deficit, that's for sure. Use the knees to help the dumbbells up. Dumbbell lateral raises, 20 of them with 8 kilos. Oh, fuck. So with that, like I literally just done shoulder press and then going into lateral raises. I don't really need a warm up set for the lateral raises. I've done the shoulder press, which was heavy for the shoulders, and then going into lateral raises afterwards, isolation, and high reps then as well. So I'll be going lightweight with it. So there's no point in doing warm up sets because you literally just don't need it. Like, and arms and shoulders are super good at recovering. So I have my dumbbell lateral raises done. That was 20 reps, two sets of them. Now two sets over here for cuffed lateral raises. This is a heavier one, so for 6 to 10 reps for two sets. So with the dumbbells, it's super heavy up here, so it's testing the shortened range of the medial delt. And then what this is going to do is provide the same tension from here all the way through right up. So realistically, I'm trying to get it when it's fully lengthened. So it's fully lengthened down here, and that's what I'm trying to test then as well. So it's important to get the different like when you're training a muscle, you're training a muscle. Like, there's no two ways about it. But when you do add in variety into what you do, you get a lot more out of it. And there is science to back that up then as well. So I have the hands out here. I don't want the cables then to touch. It's actually probably one of the best shoulder exercises I've ever done, because it takes your hands out of it and it's just on your wrists, and it's like your shoulders doing everything. So I just go 12 on that one because it felt a bit easy. Oh, it's fucking heavy. But, if you don't try, go heavier, nothing will change. Oh, that'll do. Fucking hell. So this is a quadruple set for rear delts, medial delt at the side, and anterior delt at the front here. And this is basically just complete fucking overhaul of the whole lot there. So if you're looking to get cap delts, this is the way to do it. Now, so start with rear delt fly with a lighter weight, aim for 10 to 12. 12, and then going heavier for rear delt row. Well, no, bent over row. Elbows are tucked in. This will light up your fucking rear delts big time. 12. Okay. Then, lateral raises. 12, lighter weight. 11. 12. Now, this is shoulder press then. A little bit heavier. Fuck. And that's how to blow up your shoulders. Now, you're probably thinking, like, if you can do 30 kilos above head, and you're doing 10 kilos above head instead, like your muscle isn't lifting the same amount of weight. But when you're doing the heavy weight, that's what you're doing. And then you can fatigue the muscle and tear muscle down by fatiguing the muscle with higher reps and using things like supersets, drop sets, cluster sets, rest pause sets. They're all just different techniques of just absolutely messing up the muscle. And you don't have to do it at a specific point in a session or anything. Like, I could have put this at the start of the session before I got to doing a heavier shoulder press. Like, it's not, you just need to keep it fresh all the time, and trying something different will always benefit you big time. But there are some things that are just better than others, and it's as simple as that.